There's only two things that I'm disrespected by when I play 3-minute chess, okay? One of them you saw in that last video, which is when you play 3-minute chess and the other guy, for some reason, is, well, the other player, I should say, is pre-moving in the opening as if you're not even having any impact. You know, like it's like if they're just making moves without even responding to your moves. So that was where I said, you know what? I'm just, because they're pre-moving, I'm just gonna play c5 to challenge their bishop, and then their pre-move came out, and then I took their bishop. So get owned. The other one is the Scandinavian defense. I'm sorry, this is probably is nonsensical, but if you play the Scandinavian defense against me, I just, for some reason, it just makes me angry. So, I took that personally. Beating a Scandinavian defense player feels great. Because I don't know, it just feels like a disrespectful opening. Also, another thing I hate, people who in 3-minute chess choose to play closed games. What's wrong with you? That's why I love when I play e4 and then someone responds c5. They want to play the Sicilian defense. Okay, I say, guess what? Knight c6. I forget what they play after that. Probably, wait, no, I'm the white pieces. I play knight to c3. They play knight to f6. Then I get ready to fianchetto that bishop. I play b3. And they're like, oh shit, this guy's not just doing a pawn push. The connection to the server is timed out, by the way. Or it hasn't, or it hasn't, or it hasn't. Hey, Fall Guys. Hey, Fall Guys. You can see me getting mad. Oh, never mind. It's actually completely working. Which is good, because I can't exit to the main menu. We could do some Psycho Casino. By the way, we have new emotes. I'm going to hit refresh before I tell you what they are. One of them is Aware with a capital A. I don't know if it doesn't appear to have been applied yet. The other one is Point and Laugh. Point and Laugh is also not working yet, but it'll happen. Lily Leapers is the best game. Start a prediction. Will we qualify? Yes, no. Honestly, I didn't want to say it. There's another chess video going up today. Like, I think at 11, so like an hour and 45 minutes from now. My chess, it's not perfect. I haven't been exclusively winning, but I've been playing a lot better lately. I've gone from like 1350 to 1450 in the last week or something of chess videos. Now, I don't think that kind of rise is sustainable, but I will say if you amortize that out, you know, and you look at what I'm going to be like 2 years from now, my ELO is going to be like fucking 4,000, which would be far and away a world record for highest ELO in history. So, like, watch out, Magnus. If I could just gain 100 ELO a week, I don't know, dude. I mean, we could even make it 50 ELO a week. That seems more consistent. And then all of us, before you know it, like 2 years, ELO of 5,000. Meet the chess player who can't be stopped. Super chess. Did you see how we were almost on the world record pace here? Hold on, it's a spicy lobby, man. Everybody's seen the Twitter video. Everybody knows how you set the world record. Only I have the skills to actually accomplish it, as you can see. Hey, check it out. We qualified. Choose outcome. Yes. Can I tell you something? I'm also having... It's a very sobering morning for me. Last night, as mentioned, it wasn't my night on baby duty. My wife... while putting the baby to sleep, put her in her crib and then fell asleep on the nursery floor. We have a little cot like set up in there for this exact purpose because I have it happen to me sometimes as well. So she fell asleep on the nursery floor, slept there all night. I woke her up when getting ready to take my shower after doing my Peloton ride. However, that's just a setup. That means I slept in our bed alone last night. I woke up and I had no blanket. What this means is that accidentally we've settled a decade-long debate over how my wife ends up with the blanket every night. I always wake up with no blanket, and I go, that's because you steal the blanket from me. And she goes, no, that's because you, like, give me the blanket. And I'm like, that doesn't make any damn sense. Well, last night I woke up, I had no blanket, and there was nobody else in the bed. So, admittedly, it's a sample size of 1, but I have to admit that I think she's right in this case. I guess at night I get a little warm and I say, here, you take this, and I give her the blanket and I just sleep with with no cover. This is my favorite game. Wife, right? Ah! Dude, honestly, I think one of the real benefits, and this may sound counterintuitive, one of the real benefits of marriage is actually realizing how often you're wrong. And this is not like a man-woman thing, but if you live alone, you must be under the delusion that all of your opinions are right all the time, right? That's not realistic. That's not sensible. I guess it doesn't have to be marriage. You could just live with roommates. But, you know, when you live with other people, you get to hear different perspectives on things, and, you know, different methods of doing the dishes. Some people put the knives in the dishwasher pointy side down. Some people put them pointy side up, you know? We won. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. They've never seen anyone. The doctor who administered the test said, wow, Mr. President, I've never seen a result like this before. It's truly incredible. It's almost unbelievable. Okay, hold on. Will we qualify? Yes. I prefer hand washing. Hold on. I prefer hand washing dishes over the dishwasher. Is that weird? I think it depends on your workflow, okay? I think if you get in the habit of doing the dishes right as you make them, then I can understand why you prefer hand washing. Because why would you load the dishwasher with like 3 things if you could just wash them in 2 seconds? But I am a dishwasher, I'm dishwasher pilled for sure. I let the dishes sort of accumulate in the sink, and then after dinner, because like lunch and breakfast, they're not making that many dishes. You let the dishes of the morning and the afternoon accumulate in the sink, and then after dinner, you toss them all in the dishwasher except for the nice stuff that is not dishwasher friendly, unfortunately. And then you just let it run. Does depend on the dish. Why not put them straight in? Sometimes I got other shit to do, I guess. Also, because I wait until after dinner to unload the dishwasher too, because usually I run it like while we're asleep. We got a good domestic workflow right now, so I'm not... did I even run the casino this time? I guess so. What if you have a dish rack? Well, that's fine too, don't get me wrong. I mean, here's the thing. We got a double sink, which is great. But we don't have a whole lot of counter space because we have a blender, an air fryer, a toaster, a rice cooker, a bread box. You know, we got all this shit. So now we have like this unrollable dish rack that goes over one of the sinks to allow us to dry the dishes over top of the sink. So we really only have one sink. But I'm envious of the big dish rack users in the McMansions. Point and laugh works now? Okay, hold on. Let's refresh. Me too, I'm not bragging about it. Well, I'm not bragging about having 2 sinks. That's nice. We don't have the HGTV bathroom. We still only have, we have a 1 sink vanity in our bathroom. So we can't even like floss at the same time. It's ridiculous. You know what? I'm gonna list it. I'm not loving it. I'm listing it. What's my deal breaker? Has to have 2 sinks in the bathroom. I'm too old to be dealing with this 1 sink lifestyle. I'm cracked. I'm unbelievable with it. I'm insane with it. One of the best to ever do it. We can still get that one. Just believe. Believe again. Should have grabbed it. I don't know if that even works, but it could have. That's fine. Get this one. 9 of 15, nobody's qualified yet. For sale, golden rings, never qualified. We got a little 2-piece coming our way. Don't fuck with me. Nobody's still qualified. This is just, I mean, that's a textbook performance right there. What do you want me to say? First place qualification on Bounce Party. Nothing wrong with that. Will we qualify? Yes. And then we just enjoy life, I guess. Just waiting. Just minding our own business. If I had to scrap one of our single-use kitchen appliances, it would not be the air fryer. The air fryer is absolutely insane for cooking baby food, reheating food, cooking any kind of frozen food. I would, it wouldn't be the rice cooker. The rice cooker is unbelievable for 2 reasons. First off, the rice that it makes is better than the rice that you're making in your pot. And I honestly, if you give me a blind taste test, I believe that would bear out. The other thing is that it's actually just also a rice holder. So you just cook twice as much rice as you need, and then you eat as much as you were going to eat normally, and then the next time you make a meal, you got instant rice that's already cooked and just sitting there. As long as you haven't left it in the rice cooker for like a week, it's good to go. It stays like, it uses a little bit of electricity to keep the rice warm and moist and not, you know, I don't know, rotten, I guess. And I guess if I had to pick one, it would be the blender, honestly. I understand the utility of a blender. It can be nice to have it in some situations, but I am trying to shield. I'm trying to shield like it's Rumbleverse. That was a beautiful shot. I'm still living. 2 days, maybe not a week. I would eat rice that's been in the rice cooker for 72 hours. No bacteria has been allowed to get in there, probably. I would be more concerned about the texture than I would be about well, I don't know. I did get food poisoning that almost ended my life, so maybe I'm not an authoritative source on food safety right now. Maybe you shouldn't trust me on that one. Okay, this is what always happens. I always just fall in. You know how people ask you, like, when you take too long in the bathroom, they say, I just tried to shield, like Rumbleverse style, and I almost dove off the edge. Well, when they ask you if you fell in, I mean, like, I almost did it. I almost did it. I almost fell in. 1 person eliminated thus far. That's crazy. Don't. You do it to yourself, you do, and that's what really hurts. We're safe here together. I don't see a reason for us to mess with it. I'm actually too good at shooting the ball. I'm insane. He lived. I'm dead. That was a great shot. What can you say about that? It was a great shot. Choose prediction. We did not qualify. That's fair. That's a standard. It was great placement. He died, point and laugh. Don't make me regret this emo placement, okay? What the heck? That's a damn stream sniper. Hey, you, Joe. You know what? I'm going to say congrats. At Joe Motiki. Congrats. Enjoy your victory. Audit them? I mean, they won fair and square. It wasn't like they were just coming straight after me or whatever. But the blender is like, we only use it for smoothies. It's not even annoying to clean, but just the thought of cleaning it makes me not want to use the blender in the first place. Like, that's what's great about a toaster. You use the toaster, and then you're like, though I know that it made a mess, but because it falls to the bottom of the toaster, I don't even have to worry about it. That's a mess for another day. And any kind of like bugs that get in the toaster, I'm sure they just get vaporized by the coils anyway. So out of sight, out of mind. Put it in the cupboard when you're not using it? No, because we got all this shit in our cupboards that we use even less. We got like an electric grill you can use to make like big breakfasts or like hot pot. We have like Korean dukbaegi, which are the ceramic stone bowls that you would serve like a kimchi jjigae in and stuff like that. Maybe you should remove something from your cupboard. It's really not a big deal. I'm kind of like living life over here. Not a sincere problem. Why, are you looking to pick up like a cheap air fryer on Facebook Marketplace? I'm sure you can find one. It's not kimchi jjigae, like a former goalie for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. It's kimchi jjigae. 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 In the Romanization. In the Old English. And I understood what was happening. J.S. Giguère? Yes, Jean-Sébastien Giguère, one of the best playoff performances of all time. One of the only players to win the Conn Smythe Trophy for playoff MVP on the losing team. Very rarely happens. Hold on, this is a little, I gotta focus a bit. This is a little, I gotta focus. Could you guys just stop getting in my way? You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry? It's a little better. We made up some space here. You fuckers. You fuckers. Should I get yeeted? 11 of 29. Go faster. We made it. There's nothing. So, like, how did we almost not qualify there? It's society's fault, okay? Because here's what happened. I knew that that leftmost door was going to be our window. Unfortunately, there was the average person on our left that said, no, right door closer. Right door closer. They didn't realize that by the time we got to the right door, the shit was going to be closed up. So they were standing shoulder to shoulder, and they were like, no, go this way, go this way, go this way. Makes me sick. That's why we couldn't learn multiplication until the 3rd grade. Please, sir, they're 5 years old. I'm sick of this. It's always, oh, they're kids, they're kids. If the kids are playing the game, there's only 2 choices, okay? It's kill or be killed. You could either beat the kids or you could lose to the kids. I've made my choice. Well, I came in second last time. I mean, there's some really, really good gamers out there, regardless of their age. I lived. I did see a thread on Reddit that kind of blew me away. The thread title was, have you ever hit a stranger's kid? And when you see that, first off, you know there's a 100% chance you're clicking on it. But then, of course, the first thing you say is, no. Obviously, why would you ever hit a stranger's kid? That's like way over the line. You shouldn't hit your own kid to begin with, but a stranger's kid, I don't know. I guess I don't feel comfortable saying is worse. They're kind of both really, really bad. But then there was a lot of posts. Like the top post was like, yes, I had to slap a 10-year-old at the park once because, you know, the parents are just sitting on the bench watching the kids play, which is how things happen. And then their 10-year-old pinned my 4-year-old to the ground and started kicking the shit out of them. So I had no choice but to, like, slap the 10-year-old. And I was like, you know what? Kind of makes sense to me. I'm not saying that physical violence is the answer, but I mean, that's a situation that would get your adrenaline pumping. You know, that's like self-defense. It's not yourself, but it's someone who can't defend themselves, so that's self-defense. I need to find an excuse like that? Well, you know, you're not even mad at the 10-year-old that much. I mean, again, we've gone... Macros, this one's for you! Never mind, I fell. This one's not for you. We'll get a good one for you. You think I didn't see that resub notification? Come on. Did you see you've entered the lore of the community, by the way? Someone on r/Northernline made a post that said, where did the meme, this one's for you, Macros, start? And then people correctly surmised it was Macros is from Australia, so anything remotely oceanic is now preceded by this one's for you, Macros. I mean, we're swiveling. We are swiveling. Anyway, will we qualify? Yes. That one's for you, okay? Sorry, I keep repeating the same bit over and over, but it's so annoying to go to the playground. I felt bad, like... The parents who are like just basically being derelict or caretakers. We were at the playground 2 weekends ago, and there was a kid, I don't know, he was probably like 7. He was a 7-year-old boy, and he was just camping the slide. Like he was sitting at the top of the slide, and he had a bunch of like toy cars and stuff like that. And we were like, hey, is it possible? Could you move to the side? Could you move your car to the side so that other people can use the slide? And he's like, no, my cars are sleeping. And you just kind of like, I'm having a talk with this strange child. I look over at like his uncle or something. His uncle is just sitting on like a rock in the playground, just staring out into space. And I'm giving the uncle a look like, hey buddy, like, why am I doing this shit? Like, why am I doing your job for you? Like, can't you teach your kids some manners, or your nephew or whatever? And he just like didn't care at all. And then I realized, you know what? Fuck you, this is my nephew now. And so I started like, I realized the kid probably just wanted like some attention because he's not getting any attention from his family. So I was like, oh, why are the cars sleepy? And he's like, oh, they drive a lot today. And I was like, oh, that's cool, where did they drive? And he was like, just around the park. And I was, so we had like a 2-minute long conversation, and then finally the kid moved like his shit off of the slide and we could use the slide again. But I was like, I just wanted like, it would be nice if there was like a time machine so you could talk to the kid, like his future self, and be like, hey, I'm sorry like your uncle fucking sucks, okay? I don't know if he's hungover or like he just doesn't care. Like he wasn't even looking at his phone. He was just staring into nothingness. Like, just wish I could give him like his future self a message that's like, hey kid, you know, this part of your life, it's not forever. You're gonna have the chance for some self-actualization. Don't worry. And you know what? Maybe because of that conversation, he's gonna become like a mechanic or something like that. Or he's gonna cure automobile narcolepsy or something. It's just annoying. Like, people take their kid to the park and then they're like, well, my work here is done. No, now you gotta make sure they're not fucking things up for everybody else. Anyway, sorry. Would love your thoughts on this. A lot of parents take their kid to the park and then are like, hands off from that point onwards. And I understand, because it's easy to tell yourself, like, oh, at some point they've got to learn how to, like, you know, manage themselves. Yeah, where do you think they learn that from? Idiot? TV? Like, you got to teach them, wait your damn turn. I've made a horrible mistake. You got to teach them, like, hey, be conscientious to those around you. We can't win, but... What? That was a cracked lobby, dude. Holy cow. Dude, I died first. Oh, God, it's Ninja. I died first, and then everybody else died within, like, 4 seconds. Holy cow, that was a cracked lobby. Pay out the nose, but I'm not, like, too upset about that one. That one was pretty good. You don't point and laugh for that one. Nice try, nice try. You just got Blevinsed. 'd. 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 ' I got so much cat hair, man. So much cat hair in the air. I'm just saying, you know, you gotta. There's a happy medium between like being a helicopter parent that stands over top of their kid and is like, my child would like to use the slide now. Mom says it's my turn to use the slide. Like, that's too far in one direction. But then too far in the other direction is like my kid's fucking things up for everybody else, and I'm just gonna pretend I don't see it. They're both annoying, but the latter is much more annoying than the former. In Asian societies, it's considered normal to slap other kids as long as they're within your in-group. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's the way it should be, but definitely, even when I taught in Korea, I mean, South Korea is culturally fairly similar in a broad sense to North America, I would say. But even in school, like, you could issue punishments. I wouldn't say they're like corporal punishments, but and I didn't do this because I didn't feel comfortable with it, but you could, if a kid was misbehaving, you could tell them to get up against the wall and like bend their knees into a sit squat and basically just stay there until failure. You could basically just have them stand up against the wall until the lactic acid starts flooding their legs. And they're like, teacher, stop. Like, teacher, I'm sorry. And you're like, no. And then you just, you know, eventually they just sort of fall down. And then you're like, okay, that's your punishment served. I mean, it's really good for your quads. It's really, honestly, if anything, you're kind of doing them a favor, like, long term. But let me up, please. Then what you do is, like, 10 years later, you add those kids to your cycling team, and it's called playing the long con. That's how you end up with like a Lance Armstrong, Floyd Landis type situation. I had a teacher do that in Canada. Really? I mean, I definitely did not go to school where anybody got hit. I'm trying to think of, like, the only punishment I can really think of that crossed the line was in 6th grade. One kid didn't do his homework, and he was like a known troublemaker. One kid out of 30 didn't do his homework, so the teacher kept the entire class in from recess. And even, like, at age 12, everybody was like, this is not, like, the way that an adult... Okay, like, what's wrong with you? This is not the way an adult should be handling this situation. Is, like, collective punishment for the whole class, because, like, one person has probably, like, a fucked up family life? That seems a little crazy. Anyway, that's the only one I can really remember that was... that crossed the line in that sense, I would say. Just let me get over the ball. Dive. Bro, no! Holy cow. Was he a football coach? No, he was just like a hard ass for no reason. Actually, and I'm sorry, if you've watched for long enough, you've definitely heard this story before. Same teacher. One of my friends and acquaintances got the right... It was like, you know, 6th grade. You're doing like 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication or something like that. He got most of the right answers on a math test, but didn't really show his work. So even though he got almost all the answers correct, he got like a C- on this math test. And then he raised his hand in the class and was like, hey, this doesn't make sense. If I can do the work and get it right, like, why do I have to prove that I showed my work? Okay, so, you know, there's an interesting discussion to be had there on whether or not showing your work is relevant at that level, if you can do it in your head. But anyway, the wrong thing to do is what the teacher did, which is get into an argument with the class, like with the kid in front of the class for like 45 minutes, while the rest of the class just sat there awkwardly like Jesse Pinkman, drinking their water. And then we were supposed to do a shop lesson on how to use a miter saw. And, like, this kid was crying, right? He was like, I don't want to show my parents this C-. Like, he was very academically minded. He just didn't show his work, but he got the right answers. The teacher said, like, okay, if you don't, like, let this go, I'm gonna have to take the whole class out and do the lesson in the hallway. And he was like, I'm not giving up on this. So he took the whole class out, and we had our lesson on how to use a miter saw out in the damn hallway. Not a very mature response. The dude is like 60 years old, too. And it's the 6th grade. Like, you couldn't just cut the kid a break and been like, okay, I'll give you the marks for getting the answers right, but like at the same time, next time, please show your work. It's just is a weird hill to die on. Sounds like the teacher won that one. Well, I suppose. A bit of a power imbalance, but... we made it, by the way. It's not so bad. We made it. Kind of cracked at the bounce party today. Showing the work is part of the assignment, though. Yeah, but the kid is 12. And it's like, it's 6th grade math. I don't know. Like, it's not... He didn't fumble the nuclear football or something like that. It's... Just get... Look, you know... This is like the pre-smartphone era. Like, and he was one of the smartest kids in the class. Like, how is he going to cheat? He's just You know why he was probably good at multiplying 2 numbers together? Is because he started doing that shit in like 2nd grade when it should be on the curriculum. But then they didn't get to that shit until like 5th grade because instead we were spending half of our school time doing word searches so everybody could finish the assignments at the same pace. Like, just... You're 12, 11 years old. Like, it's one math quiz. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, if you're doing, like, or algebraic proofs, you should show your work. I don't think you could just be like, you know, prove all 3 angles in an equilateral triangle are 60 degrees and then just write QED and draw a triangle. Like, that doesn't seem right. But... I didn't qualify. I ran off the side. I was really excited to give it a chance there, by the way. But then I kind of blew it. Oh, I didn't show my work on that one, that's for sure. What happened there? Okay, I'll tell you what happened there. I was moving too fast, but I couldn't figure out how to slow down, so I just ran off the edge. I'm not saying, you know, nothing I could say would make you think it was a good reason, but... That's the only one I can really think of. I never saw a kid get hit or anything like that. Hey, Fresh Cut Sludge, thanks for the gifted subscription. Thank you. Sounds like you have a problem with the Ontario education system. I kind of do. I mean, but, like, here's the thing. People, like, I benefit from people thinking this is a bit. But it's not really a bit. I think... Maybe it's a bit to say that kids should have more homework, because I don't really think that represents my philosophy 100%. But I definitely think, like, the school curriculum should be harder and ramp up faster. But I do also understand that, you know, you've got 30 kids in the class with different levels and of both academic ability and interest. But I definitely feel like you can make it harder and that would be good. Like, without... It wouldn't compromise... Well, I don't know. I was gonna say it wouldn't have compromised my quality of life. But that's not even true. It would have raised my quality of life to not spend 3 months on, like, the same math lesson. But... Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. They need a fast pass. Well, I guess, like, private school is already sort of a fast pass. True, true. I don't know. I don't even know if I've ever known anybody that's gone to private school. I'm sure there's some in the chat. Would love your thoughts on this. French immersion. So, I mean, French immersion I think is cool. We had, there were kids at my high school who were in French immersion. There's only like 8 of them. And I will say, okay, this is too far. None of those kids were like overachievers, but at the very least, at least they spoke French very well. You know what I mean? It was like there was a leg up on the competition. Like none of those kids were academically stellar, but all of them were like, at least I have French, which is actually like a really good skill to have in Canada. It qualifies you for a lot of other jobs, including like stable government jobs that have a pension. It's an actual very marketable skill to have. Much more marketable than knowing, you know, how to like write a chemistry equation and see what the result would be from the reactants. So I if anything, I'm a little envious. It's kind of a Canadian cheat code, yeah. Although, honestly, I bet it's kind of annoying to know French when you fly Air Canada. Because they do all the announcements in English and then in French. So I hear the English one, and then when the French one starts, I'm like, I can just put my movie back on. But if you speak French, you're probably like, I can't turn this off. I can't turn this off. Bienvenue d'abord Air Canada. Pour votre confort et sécurité, please pay attention to this short safety video. You think I don't fuck with Mrs. Vandertramp? So vrai, so vrai. Mais soufflé, s'il vous plaît? Très bien. Avec beurre, sir. I mean, monsieur. That's Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp to you. I'm still thinking about that tweet that was modern James Bond. James, if you don't learn how to deal with the neglect of your father, you'll never learn how to stop drinking in response to all the extrajudicial killings you have to do. Old James Bond, my name is Rebecca Ass. I was paraphrasing the first part, but the second part I got down for sure. It's such a perfect tweet. My name is Rebecca Ass. Oh, man. Gets me every time. Been drinking them for years. This is a good run. I don't get it. Modern James Bond has a little bit more, I don't know, like pathos associated with it. Old James Bond was like basically Sean Connery just being like a chauvinist who murders people. And there was no subtext at all. There was the other one too that was in the replies from like a few years ago. That was like new James Bond, something, you know, the same thing. Old James Bond, I'll shoot the koala and the other ones will be distracted while I have sex with the zookeeper. Yeah, like Goldfinger is maybe the best old James Bond movie, and it's really good. And the Bond girl is called Pussy Galore. Like, it's just, it's staggering. I mean, that was not 200 years ago. That was in like 1970 or something. There's Octopussy, Pussy Galore. That's what I did. And again, this is all from the original thread. They're like, it's the rare situation where the satire is more subtle than the thing being satirized. Like, a lot of vagina is actually like a more sensible name than Pussy Galore. Oh, take me back, take me back, take me back. I almost died. I hear that cat number 2's into big underground drills. Who told you that? Oh, how did you know that? No, I didn't, baby. You just told me. Holly Goodhead? Yeah, I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. You've bested me. Never mind. You stink. There is, I mean, it's not like modern James Bond is immune. Denise Richards as Dr. Christmas Jones at the end of the movie they have intercourse and he says, I thought Christmas only comes once a year. I mean, like, that shit was in, like, 2001, maybe? They called her Christmas Jones just so James could have that line at the end. There's not a +2. It's, like, so cringe. A lot of those late Pierce Brosnan movies are pretty cringe, though. Oh. Her first name was Christmas? Yeah. James Bond has sex. Bad chest. Bad chest. Hoopsie Legends. This is where shit gets real. All he needs to do now is poop his pants. I mean, even GoldenEye. GoldenEye... Look, if you're gonna... I don't know. Casino Royale might be my favorite Bond movie. It might be GoldenEye. It might be Goldfinger. But, even in GoldenEye, one of the villains kills dudes by riding them and then squeezing her thighs together with such prodigious force that, like, their bones crack. Which, first off, me and who? But secondly, I mean, it's not exactly... I guess you shouldn't necessarily assume that James Bond is going to be, like, the most subtle artwork on the planet, but, like, that's definitely an extra level of on the nose, I suppose. Pretty realistic. Really? Has this ever happened to you? I knew you were gonna get that shit. I knew. You knew I'd like that ring. I didn't know it rotated. That's my fault. Bad vector. Good vector. Fuck you. Give me something. That's not makeable in my opinion. This is makeable. Just wait for it. You pick your shot. Was her name Psycho Mantis? No, it was Xenia Onatop. So it was like, at least her first name was not like, you know, sexual. But she do be killing the people from being on top of them. We make the finals again? Holy cow. I guess we'll wait to see what the final is. What do you think James Bond makes per month? I bet he doesn't get paid that much because he's a government employee, but I bet his pension is fucking insane. Thin ice. I mean, the benefits, come on. You think Benny is the most versatile word in the English language? Could mean benefit. Could mean benzodiazepine. Could mean Eggs Benedict. Could be Benny and the Jets by Elton John. You get a lot of work out of just those 5 letters. Benny Hill, too, yeah. Looking forward to my 45-minute Dennis Morton Benny Hill ride. My dad actually loves Benny Hill, which is kind of like he's a great guy, but it's maybe an indictment in my opinion of his taste in comedy. He also he loves the later scary movies, which is a scary thought in and of itself, but I remember being like 12, and then Benny Hill was playing on TV, and he was like, you gotta see this. And they're all like running in one door, but then coming out of like the other door, and you're like, what? This hotel doesn't make any damn sense, man. Uh-oh. I'm going to pass away. Second place. Little throw. Why jump? I don't know. I was scared. I don't know all these advanced Fall Guys techniques. I'm just happy to be involved, man. Okay, we did not qualify. That's okay. Is standing still an advanced technique? With today's market volatility, absolutely. As Jack Bogle said, don't do something, just stand there. The ice had 2 ticks left. The ice had... that's my bad then, for sure. I mean, it was my bad to begin with. I didn't realize that that ice was not thin. Ravs is playing Rumbleverse. I know. We're starting to get... Slowly, we're moving the boulder up the hill. Chiv didn't really like Rumbleverse the first time he played it. Then it wormed its way into his brain, and he's playing more of it. I think he got a 2nd yesterday. And I mean, as soon as you get that... As soon as you experience how much the game changes in the final circle, I mean, you're locked in until at least you get the dub. Ravs is playing it. Justin in the Discord chat was like, I think I need to give it another chance. I'm telling you. You just don't get all the distractions, put blinders on to all the distractions, and just keep pushing the boulder up the hill. Stop. Can you just go? Can you be faster? Me to the person in front of me at the self-checkout? Can I tell you a self-checkout story? It's self-checkout Thursday. 2 days ago at the grocery store, I bought grapes, okay? They came in a bag with a barcode on it. I go to the self-checkout, I scan the barcode, it said, unknown product. This is not in our database, please wait for someone to help you. Nobody came to help me, so I examined the bag and saw that they had the product code on it. I typed the product code in, the same way you would type in the product code for any kind of produce. It said, oh, these are grapes, they're in our system. I say, yeah. Then I went to pay, and it said, hold on, we gotta have someone to verify because there was an unknown item involved in this purchase. Great system. Do we really need... I'll stop bringing it up when it stops being relevant. I don't need staff's permission to pay for my groceries because I could have just walked out the fucking door with the shit in my bag to begin with. Okay? So why are we pretending that I couldn't have just stolen this stuff? You're like, oh, hold on. We want to make sure everything's on the level on the self-checkout. If I was trying to steal something, I would have just put it in my pocket and walked out. There's no security. Like, pirating the groceries is the way to go now. Cameras? Come on. No one's using the cameras to stop you from shoplifting from the damn Wegmans. Hold on. We're 2 Hershey bars short on our count today. All right, pour through every frame of the security footage to find somebody. Come on, man. Are you crazy? I just walked over here. You know how I know they don't do that shit? Because I've stolen shit from the grocery store accidentally, just by having it on the bottom of my cart. And then, like, you go to the cashier and you're like, oops, I forgot there was, like, a 12-pack of, you know, Diet LaCroix down here. You get to your car and you're like, am I really going to go back in? Like, I kind of already got away with it. And then I just think to myself, you know, I'm sure it comes out in the wash. I'm sure there's probably been times I've been, like, double charged for something, and because I feel weird about staring at the transaction on the screen as it goes up, then I'm like... You know, I didn't notice it. So I just assume that, you know, human beings are inherently they make mistakes. I just assume you get the roughly equivalent amount of mistakes in your favor as you get mistakes against you. And apart from that, you know, I'll let St. Peter do the auditing. I'm amazing. I'm still amazing. Have fun in prison. I had a family friend steal a candy bar and they almost went to prison for it. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't believe you. How? What's the process of them going to... You can't... I don't think you can go to prison for, like, anything anymore except maybe, like, murder. We get news stories in Vancouver. This is a genuine news story. A woman got stabbed with a hypodermic needle. And you read the news story, you're like, this is crazy. And then you read the last line, and it said the suspect was released under their own cognizance later in the day. And you're like, really? They stabbed someone on the street with like a used syringe, and the cops were like, all right, just come back for your court date in 9 months. Did she deserve it? I don't know. Probably not, would be my guess. A streamer got arrested for stealing a sip of water? What are you talking about? Is this true? A streamer got arrested for... How do you steal a sip of water? Like from a water... Like a water bottle? This is an Atriox story. Can I get the cliff notes on this? It was in Florida. Okay, that's honestly, that's great cliff notes. That tells me everything I need to know, I think. He drank a water bottle while he was still in the store. You know, I think you should be able to drink the drink in the store, as long as you then scan the empty bottle when you check out. Sometimes you just be like really thirsty. He then he proceeded not to purchase it. On purpose or through a dereliction of action? Was it forgetfulness or malice? Okay, shipper, you try to block me, I'm gonna block you. You try to block me, thank you. I mean, people just be forgetting stuff, man. It happens all the time. Like, I don't drink the drink before I leave, before I check out. I'm uncomfortable with it for whatever reason. But I don't look that weirdly at people who do it. But someone who eats food in the grocery store and then checks out with with like an empty potato chip bag or something, that's crazy to me. My points. We're not gonna make it. Your points are not safe. He couldn't pay for it because he got arrested. That's fair. I mean, honestly, that's fair. Glad I forgot to Bert. Me too. Oh my god, I forgot to Bert. That's a big payout. I love Wall Guys when it works. Every once in a while, you'll see someone who's eating like a bag of peanuts or something in the grocery store. You're just like, you really like eating while grocery shopping is like a level of free sample, sure, but there's a level of decadence that I'm like, I don't know. Who am I, Caligula? I'll just wait till I get into the damn car. Start ripping into the spicy salami before I even get to the damn conveyor belt? I don't think so. What about the grape? Okay, least insane viewer spotted. At age 3, 4, or 5, I did pluck a single grape off of the grape vine in the produce section when I was grocery shopping with my mom. And then she traumatized me by, like, not yelling at me, but administering a harsh lesson that said that's stealing. So since that point onwards, I mean, I don't sample the produce. I don't go to the bulk section and take a handful of corn nuts and go, oh yeah, those are good, and then just buy, you know, quinoa like I was originally there for. Like, I'm a lawful good grocery shopper. You know how I know I'm a lawful good grocery shopper? I always return the cart. That's a given. I always put the basket in the basket section. A lot of people just be leaving their basket on the side of the self-checkout for the next person to put away. And you know what I also do? If the person before me did not put their basket in the basket section, I will put their basket and my basket in the basket section. Hero's not a word that I use lightly. But if you want to, then be my guest. Also, these lazy assholes, the receipt gets printed out of the self-checkout. They don't take it. They just let the receipt stay there. What do you think happens? The receipt fairy comes and just says, oh, no problem, and throws it in the recycling? No, you know what happens? I go up next, I take your receipt and my receipt, and then I put it in the recycling. And my time is more valuable than yours, to be frank. I know that sounds a little narcissistic, but I just saw what you did with your time. I know that in your free, if this is what you're doing when you're in public, in private, it's probably just a den of shame. You got to be the change you want to see in the world, okay? It's exactly true. I am the receipt fairy. Thermal paper is not recyclable. Look, here's the thing. At the recycling plant, I doubt they're pouring out a dumpster full of paper, and then they're like, oh, there's one thermal piece in here. Send it off to the landfill. I'm sure they're just taking the dumpster and then sending it off to the landfill, okay? I think it should be illegal. If some shit can't be recycled, it should be illegal to... hold on, I haven't thought this one. Will lead us to kings, will Reagan lead us to... But, like, there's... Do you know that, like, not all plastic is recyclable, right? If you look at a piece of recyclable plastic, there's, like, 6 different plastic types. And, like, every jurisdiction and municipality has, like, ones that they can and can't recycle. Why don't we just make it illegal to make the ones that you can't recycle? I'm sure it's more expensive, or like maybe they don't have the same kind of like industrial rigor or something like that. But like if it's gonna fuck up the whole batch of recycling, if you put a plastic product 6 in a bin that can only handle plastic products 1 through 5, maybe the system is the problem, because no sane person could possibly keep all that shit in their head while also trying to live their life. We gotta, like, just make plastic product 6, like, just ban that shit or something. I don't know. I don't really know, because, like, half the restaurants in Vancouver now use, like, biodegradable containers. But if you order, like, Korean fried chicken, that shit's just coming in a, like, a styrofoam case with the corners cut off so the shit doesn't get gummy. I don't know how... I don't know if they're just kind of riding it out until there's some sort of enforcement, but all right, that was a great tail tag, honestly. And how do you get it out of the corners? So true, so true. I mean, I'm a simple man, okay? If something's plastic, I throw it in the plastic recycling bin, because, like, I just don't see, like, maybe it sounds like I'm being apathetic. I don't think I should be expected to have such a rigorous knowledge of the difference between all of the different types of plastic. Oh, this plastic's recyclable, but this is, this is biodegradable, but it's biodegradable with a wax coating, so that's not recycling. No, actually, biodegradable with a wax coating still goes into the compost, because wax is an organic compound. Oh, but this is plastic wax. This is a tapioca plastic bag. This one goes into the cans. Like, I just put it in the most logical, like the simplest recycling bin for me, and then I let God sort it out, honestly. Hold on. I always am a little too conservative on Tepto. Push it. Push it. Push it. One. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go, 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 go. The other guy's got it. Okay. Did you see the clip of Dan where he was asked to place Iceland on a map and he clicked the United Kingdom? I completely believe that. And that does not make Dan stupid. It does mean that he doesn't have a great knowledge of world geography. But I completely believe that that was not a bit. And then he posted it on TikTok of his own volition. I mean, if we're being real, I mean, I got some Canadian provinces wrong on the map, like 3 days ago. I placed Prince Edward Island in Nova Scotia. He thought Ireland and the UK were Greenland and Iceland? Okay, come on. Come on. Like, that one is just... No, there's no way he thought World War II started when Germany invaded Iceland. That I don't believe. That one I think is a bit. I will say, if you're not North American, you would be amazed how easy it is to be North American and learn nothing about the world outside of North America. They make it really easy. I'm not even from the United States, and even then, I can understand it. Like, the US is a big country. It's got lots of, like, regional diversity, so it feels like it's not just, like, you know, one small country. They produce, like, the bulk of the world's most popular cinema, the bulk of the world's most popular TV. It becomes very easy to get into a North America bubble. And the school system is not teaching classes that are like, here's how to find Spain on a map, you know? You gotta be an overachiever to start looking for that stuff. Now, I can't glance. I really want to glance. It's unglanceable. This seems bad for me. This seems impossible for me. It seems like I'm... okay. That was pretty good, though. That was pretty good. Better than usual, at least. Choose prediction. We did not win. You didn't learn world geography? I can't really recall having a class in school that was like, here's where other countries are on the map. We did a lot of Canadian geography, for sure. But I definitely don't remember having, like, a class at any point in school that was like, hey, you know, here's the countries of Europe. I learned, honestly, I mean, this is just representative, I think, of, like, of my public school education, at least. I learned almost everything I know about European geography from Europa Universalis 4.